Are we back? I hope we're back. You guys there? Oh boy. Let me try sending a message on OBS. Chat, are you alive? Uh-oh. Bro. Are we back? Oh, we're back. I don't know what happened. I think OBS just completely died there. Well, that sucks that we're gonna have two VODs, but it's okay. Stream's gonna be over at about 2:30. We'll be good. Oh my god. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that, guys. I'm glad the recovery wasn't too bad. Does anyone remember what I was talking about? I got completely lost there. I was worried the power went out for a moment, but then I'm like, no, my soundtrack is still going, and the light is still on, so it can't be that. That was scary. Yeah, sorry about that. Where did I leave off? Yeah, I think there's just a lot of people who are, like, really, like, snobbish about art, and I think they just, like, think art should look like a particular way. Like, people are especially mean to beginners, I think, and I think that's cruel. It's like, they're beginners, what do you expect? What you should do is, like, build them up, tell them, like, what they did good, and I don't want to be telling people what they did bad on stream, or what they didn't do a good job with on stream, because it's like, you know, they're, the whole point is to compliment them and, like, build up some confidence. That's the Undertale soundtrack over. Let's see. What if I just played more Undertale? Yeah, I like putting on the Deltarune playlists afterwards. Usually, so we'll go chapter 2. But anyways, yeah, I think people are just really mean to, like, beginners. I think most of the art drama happens on TikTok, though. And, I basically don't exist on TikTok. I just like uploading stuff there and then completely ignoring the fact that it exists. Realistically, I should be using it more, but it's just like, I'm not into it. I'm not huge on short-form content. Johnny likes it, though, so I just have him send me the stuff that he wants me to see. That's Abigail done with, like, the ink and stuff. I'm gonna paint in the pupil just because, like, I think it's gonna look closer to what I think this Ariel tiefling should look like. But yeah. Hello, 5 viewers. We're vibin'. We are recovering after the, OBS crash incident. It said encoding error, but I don't know what that means. Merge that back down. Just going to do that. The two peaks on the horns here actually don't look the same. I'm gonna I think I'll flatten this one actually because I think that should look a little bit better, and then EMD software, no thanks. That's why I won't post my art to TikTok. I've seen enough crap that happens there to artists. I just use my account to browse stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my TikTok is basically dead for the most part, aside from when I post, like, every once in a blue moon. But no, yeah, I think a lot of it is, like, rage bait, too. You've seen the one where it's, like, to draw like a very poor representation. It's like a character, right? And like they have like their face and like their nose and mouth are down here, but their eyes are like up here. It's like, what do you guys think? Yeah, it's like really up here, I mean. Like the eyes are up here. It's like, what do you guys think of my OC? And I'm just like, you're joking, right? Like, you clearly know what you're doing. And I think a lot of people gave them flack because I couldn't understand that it was a joke. I could be wrong about the whole situation, though. Maybe that was how they actually draw. But to my knowledge, I'm fairly certain it was a joke, and there's just so much TikTok drama on there, and I'm just like, I'll take the Twitter drama, because at least I can just, like, delete the comments that are stupid. But yeah. So it is fun to like kind of like not necessarily keep up with it, but kind of just like watch it though on YouTube. I like the little breakdowns. There was one video I saw from a YouTuber yesterday when I was in bed, like phasing in and out of sleep. There was this artist who was like, guys, look at my art. Basically, that's what it was on the TikTok, and it's like, it looks really good, but then you looked closer, and it's like, hang on, something's wrong here. And it was AI, and it's like, they're 15. It's just like, bro. That was rage bait? I thought that was actually just a beginner artist. Was it? I don't know. To my knowledge, oh my god, the pre-roll ads. To my knowledge, it was, to my knowledge, it was rage bait. I don't even know what I would, like, look up on Google to search this. Beginner, artist, drama, TikTok. Yeah, I don't know what I would look up, even. Yeah, it's not here. I don't remember if it was rage bait or if it was like a genuine like anatomy problem they had, because if you looked at the rest of the thing, it was clear that they had like a really good grasp on like, you know, very general composition. Like the rendering was nice from what I remember. Their line art was good. I thought they just moved the eyes like all the way onto the forehead as a joke. Did my camera freeze? I think it froze on, like, the thing there. Let me just in case. Let me try refreshing the Twitch page, too. I don't know. Anyways. I can't find it, but I do remember that. And I remember, like, most of it looking fine. So it's like, there's no way this isn't just, like, ironic, right? I'm gonna have to ask Johnny, because I think he actually, like, knew a little bit more about what was going on there than me, but... that's what I remember. I think TikTok is just full of, like, a lot of, like, young people who don't really, like, know how to, like, interact. Or, like, they can't read, like, they can't tell, like, what's sarcasm, what's irony, what's satire, and what isn't. So they just, like, freak out a lot. And another thing about TikTok that this is more like just me, but I hate the text-to-speech voice that a lot of them use. I can't stand it. It's grating. I hate it. Like, it's part of the reason why I prefer, like, all of, like my, when I go into the app, I have everything, like, muted already, because it's like, I don't like the volume. I don't like the text-to-speech, and I don't want to hear it. But, yeah, there's just a lot of drama on there. I will show you guys the video that I was... Yeah, the text-to-speech is just awful. I will show you guys the video that I watched, yesterday, though. 'Cause it was just, like... It was just really... I'm not surprised that it was happening, but it was just like, man, I can't... on one hand, I'm disappointed. On the other hand, I'm not surprised. And on the other hand, I still can't believe it. It's like... where is the chat? There it is. It was, which video? This video, right here. This one. And like, it's so disappointing, to see. Because I think not only did they, just like post art, they traced off of the AI, which is just hilarious to me. But like, even to point things out, that was in the video that I'm not so sure you can see so clearly in the thumbnail. There's like an ear here that's like on like the side of the face rather than like the side of the head. The neck doesn't really like line up. There's just like some weird stylistic choices that sure someone could make, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. The highlights and the irises were different. And to me, the placement of the shoulder was just off. And then when they posted the speed paint, it just got like even worse. Or even worse. So they ended up, like, I think either privating their account or deleting it. And I'm just like, there's gotta be like something. There's gotta be like better safeguards against AI, because this is so stupid. I've been like, I don't know, it's a whole thing. I need to take a break from like some of the YouTube drama stuff though, because it's just like, man, this is a little exhausting. So I'm gonna see if I can find like different content to watch today, I think, when I start working on stuff again. Let's see. Jesus Christ, insult to injury right there. AI and tracing at the same time, that's just scummy. It is. But, you know, they were like 15. I hope they learned from all of that. But, let me fix my hair there. What can you do? I know for me, I've been trying to see if any AI has been copying my art. I kind of doubt it, because it's not like I'm a big artist or anything. I'm very small. I'm very pocket-sized. That's what small artists should refer to themselves now. Pocket-sized artists. And, so I've been trying to see, like, on this website, it's like, have I been trained whatever, right? But I can't find anything, and I'm not sure if that's even because, like, I'm not even sure if it's because my art just hasn't been, like, trained yet, or if it's because, it's just not, I just don't know how to use it. Same, I haven't seen any of mine stolen for AI yet. Yeah, and that's good. I don't think mine ever will, just because I think, as it is right now, the trend for art is just not what I make, so the AI is probably just not even, like, getting that into its database. And I hope it never does, because, that would be strange. Actually, no, I take it back. I hope it steals from mine, because I know my thick lines would clash so heavily with other people's, like, with the rest of the database, and it would just make the AI art look bad. And then people will be like, what the fuck? And I'll be like, haha, my art poisons your art. That's so funny. Does that make sense? Am I just mean? Am I just a bad person? Definitely not. Thank you. I mean, I think it'd be funny, because, like, just, the thought of, like, my art screwing up an AI is just really funny in my head. I think it could work. I would be fine if my art ended up poisoning the AI. should really just suck it up and use the symmetry tool, but I'm gonna say no. We die like men out here. I don't actually do front facing a lot, so this one was kind of like interesting. Like, how am I actually gonna like draw this? I think just like thin lines for like the nose bridge, just to not draw too much attention to it, because the real thing you should be paying attention to is the nostrils. I don't like when people hide noses. That's like my one pet peeve about like anime art styles. I think when you hide noses, you're just telling me that you're ashamed of something that's completely natural. I think all parts of the human body deserve to be drawn, and maybe I could extend this a little bit. Hang on. I just do kind of want it to like look within my style. Yeah, if I put these lines here, unfortunately, well. I want to add more, but like, if I add more, does it still look like it's within like what I usually do? My thing is like, if I turned this character around, will the nose look like believable from front, 3/4, and profile? It's back to what I was saying about like anime art styles and like making the nose as like a dot on the face. True, I need to really. I used to really avoid noses and mouths, but I really enjoy painting them when I do my lifeless portraits. Exactly, they're fun. I think they bring so much like stuff to a character. My pet peeve with anime is that like it'll be like a front or 3/4 thing, and the nose is basically just like 2 pixels on the face, right? But then when they turn like profile, it's like they've grown an entire wolf's snout, and I'm like, that. You can't be doing that. And I know why. I know why it's like that. It's just kind of upsetting. Especially when I actually really do, like, adore the anime art style a lot. There's just always, like, things about it where it's just, like, it really, like, pains me. It's like... I get it, it's a different culture, but I can still be mad at this culture for like still trying like so hard to like make their characters look as like white as possible, because I know what it is. It's like you don't want to draw like the big nose, because Asian noses tend to like look a certain way. They're not necessarily always flat, but they are sort of like a little bit wider, if you know what I mean. Like they don't have like that narrowness. They don't necessarily have come out nearly as much as like say like European or Caucasian. But they want, I think what it is like they want it to look like that still. So like when it's profile, it's like well now you're drawing it, and it's like it sucks. And it's not just, I guess it's not really just Japan that does that. Philippines is also like really guilty of like the whole like whitewashing thing. All like you look at all the popular actors and actresses in Philippines, they're all like light-skinned Filipino, and I'm just like, guys, this is so bad. And my mom's like that too. She'll be like, Kyra, look how dark you got. You stood out in the sun too long, and I'm like, no. I don't necessarily want to be like sunburnt, but I do like when I'm like tanned a little bit. I think I look nice like that. I think I also look nice when I also just haven't seen the sun in like a week. Like I look good and I'm confident in myself, and I don't think I need to like pander to like a certain like skin tone to do that and everything. But my mom is like obsessed with it. She has like whitening cream and everything, and I'm just like, Mom. This is like low-key messed up on like different levels. It's just something that like kind of makes me sad as a whole. Like, I'm glad I live in a progressive country. I wish the countries that I got my bloodline from would also like be like this. It's like marginally like better these days, I think, but it's still like, guys. I can't really get tan anymore. Always white as paper. Yeah, there's always gonna be people like that. I feel like kind of bad for people who have like really like light skin, because I can't imagine summer is like all that fun. I don't like lotion. I just think it's a hassle, and I just don't really like how like my hands feel like super slippery afterwards. So by extension, I'm not a huge fan of sunblock either. So whenever summer comes around, it's just like I hope you people are okay and like staying in the shade and not getting burnt to a crisp out there. That, and I just don't like summer. Okay, I think the next bit I will record for TikTok will be like this little engraving on the crowd. I love undoing all of these. Let me rotate the canvas so I have an easier time doing this. Guys, be interested in like art tips for stream. I'm trying to... The music, yeah, the music is really nice. Summer's my least favorite season. The days are too long and the nights don't get any better. It's somehow still too warm. You get me, Shunky. You get me. There are some people who are like die-hard summer fans. Like, this is the best one. I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it frickin' isn't. Summer is just awful for me, especially because our house doesn't have AC upstairs, and my big AC unit makes so much noise to the point where if I have it on at night, I'm not really gonna be able to sleep. So it's just bad all around. What I usually do is that I'll leave it running for like a few hours, and then as soon as I decide it is cold enough and it is time for me to sleep, I will just go right to bed, because otherwise I will just be like, it'll just get warm too fast at night. The way heat works here in my special city is, I'm gonna try my best not to keep saying my city name on stream. I said it like last week. I don't want it to be like a common recurring thing. I should try to be a little careful. The thing about summer here is that we're in a valley, so even though like everyone always says like, oh, heat always rises, that's why you want to stay like downstairs during the day and then go upstairs during the night, because the heat will be like away already, right? So we live in a valley, so for some reason that means everything just kind of like sits there, including like the horrible summer heat and the occasional humidity. It just like sits there and it stews, and you're just there like, can we move to NorCal? Except I don't want to move to NorCal. Those people are insane. But yeah, I hate summer. I'm not looking forward to it this year. I've been like begging my parents, like, please let me. Can we pay for the AC? Like, can we finally just pay for like the AC upstairs? It's awful. It's awful. It's so bad. And they're like, oh well, we'll see. And then it doesn't get done. I swear everyone in this family has ADHD. Anyways. Best seasons. I live in a valley as well. God, it's unbearable, but it rains a lot. Oh my god. I hope when it rains it actually cools things down, because I've experienced summer rain before, and I can tell you it feels like I'm gonna drown in the heat as well when it rains. I hate humidity. I wish I could live in Philippines, but I think the climate in the Philippines is one of the main things just keeping me, like, away from it. Just, like, if I go there, if I go to live there, I would be, like, covered in sweat, and it does a bit, thankfully. That's good, because I respond. Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can record doing this little bit for art TikTok, because I kind of have to remember to do this. I think that should be good. That's like pretty close to what I want it to be. Yeah. One time we went up to Washington, for summer break, and it was already like hot there to begin with, and then it rained for like a really short period of time, like maybe like 5 minutes. But because it was summer and because it was really hot, that just made everywhere just awfully humid. It was unbearable. My clothes were sticking to me. It was really itchy. And we were just walking around and I'm like, can we please go somewhere like inside? I could stand to not see the White House. Again, I still think it was crazy that, like, the one time I went to the White House, there was just, like, a sniper on the roof. And I understand why. Like, I get it, but that's still, like, a crazy thing to see. Just like, oh boy. This really is the White House, huh? And then... God, the Deltarune soundtrack is so good. Anyways, bring all that down. One of my favorite things to do is just like these really thick, like top eyelids. I think it looks so nice. Would do it for Abigail, but like I think it's good as it is. Part of me is like wondering, like, would anyone be interested in like art tutorials, for stream? Just like tips and stuff. Because part of me is like, I feel like I could do that, but at the same time it's like I'm self-taught and I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. So it's like, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I think it'd be fun. I think I have decent advice to give. However, I feel like a lot of that advice would be like, don't do what other people tell you to. You can ignore the fuck out of me if you want, because I don't know what I'm saying. So I don't know. I'm not even sure like what kinds of advice I could give. I just had this kind of experience in Parents 2. Heavily armed and armored policeman wants something from you speaking French. Oh my god, that is terrifying. It would be helpful, to be fair. Kira did a stream talking about color theory a few days ago. Yeah, I saw that. I think the only thing was that when I when he went live, I think I was at work and I was like, no, damn it, I can't. Like, life is pain. I'm not sure what I would talk about, though. I think a lot of it would just be, like... I think a lot of it would be, like... I know I definitely, like... part of me wants to do, like, the whole, like, video essay thing. But then part of me is also worried that, like, I kind of have to, like, know what I'm talking about. And that would also take video editing that I don't know how to do. But something that I really, really want to talk about is, hopeful, like, basically the self-taught artist experience, right? There's a lot of tips out there. When I used to be more active on Instagram, it was something that I like I would see like the art tips like all the time, like, oh, here's how you do this, here's like something that will help with this. And for the most part, a lot of them are great, but there was just like a few where I just had like a bit of a problem with it. One of the big ones that I can remember off the top of my head is the how to draw straight hair tutorial. And to an extent, I can see like that they're not entirely wrong. You do, oh my god, whoops, accidentally moved that. To an extent, they're not wrong, but the thing is that the hair that they showed in their example wasn't straight hair, it was wavy hair. But they are right. When you draw straight hair, you want to be able to add volume. It's just that the way they went about it was not right at all. And I don't know if people were calling that out before, but I know, like, when I first saw it, I knew, oh my god, those eyes are not the same. But I actually do like how I inked this eye a lot better than that eye. Okay, so we'll fix this one. It's to illustrate the thing that I was talking about. Basically, they drew two faces, right? And it's like there's the point is like this is how you should draw straight hair. So the straight hair. I think I want to say it had curtain bangs, right? Something like that. And when they drew it over the shoulder, they took like a lot of like steps to like make the straight hair just like not as voluminous as possible. Whereas, let me move this one a little bit. Whereas, this one, they said straight hair should be drawn more like this, or like. Wait, like way more exaggerated, like way more, there's way more volume here, and it's like, you didn't draw straight hair, you drew wavy hair. Like some people actually do have like pin straight hair. Johnny, I know, has pin straight hair, oops. And another thing with tips like that I personally take issue with is that, this works for maybe like a certain kind of art style. There are art styles out there that are very, like, unique and stylized to the point where they are allowed to break certain rules because their art style is more flexible and it allows for that. Mine is not, right? Mine is not one of those art styles where I can really, like, break a lot of rules. But others are, so it's like, yeah, some people do want to have their characters with that sort of like exaggerated straight hair to really show that they have straight hair. That eye's still off, I can tell. Haley has never been like balanced. I'm not good at like front view, but like, it's okay, you're only gonna see it like this. Everyone else is though, like, look at that. I'd flip it. Abigail looks normal, Elliot looks normal, Haley is the only one that I can't get right because I didn't use symmetry. And I'm just like, I'm too lazy to. But yeah. I know, I have straight hair. When I draw my character, I just give like a little bit of like, curls or wave, a little bit of a wave to it at the end just because like, my hair kind of does that anyways, and also like, pin straight hair is a little bit rare. I'm a little guilty of that since my style is all over the place. I try to keep hair mostly realistic. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that too. It's just the way that they had drawn it, to me, it limits like style, because what if I do have a character whose hair is just kind of like that? So that's my argument against art tips like that. another argument I have against it is, again, you didn't draw straight hair, you kind of just drew wavy hair. Like, let me see, do I have any examples? I'll pull up the chibi real quick. So, like, you can see that it's, like, mostly straight, but it's, like, when I get to the ends, that's where I'm, like, putting, like, most of the shape now. Like, all of that can be straight, but, like, as soon as I get down here for the most of this would be better if, like, you could see it, like, over the shoulders, but, like, that to me, that's gonna read more as more straight than whatever the art tutorial said. There was another art tip that I saw. It was like, you shouldn't be chicken scratching, you should be, like, making bold lines like this. But the thing was that the chicken scratching that they showed was, like, they weren't even trying. And I'm like, that's just horrendously misleading, because, chicken scratching can look good. Clive, I know chicken scratches a bit, but he does that to smooth out his outlines. Because while yes, I'm personally an advocate of, like, long, confident strokes, because I think everything just looks smoother like that, that still doesn't mean it's the only way to go about it. And a lot of people were pointing out too, like, chicken scratching is literally how, like, a lot of, like, sketch artists start out anyway, so it's like, are you like, how if you don't want them to do, like, the beginner thing, how do you expect them to actually begin? So I have a lot of, like, pet peeves about, like, the online art tutorials. There's a lot of good ones, but I think there's a lot of, like, really, like I think there's a lot of, like, ones where it's like, oh, well, this works for my style, so it's going to be, like, and I'm like, no, you need to, if you want to make an art tutorial, you need to be, like, really, really generic with it. I still do chicken scratching, but only for the initial sketch. It's really helpful to get the damn shapes right. Yeah, exactly. Chicken scratching is a great tool. I don't understand why this one guy was dogging on it. And don't get me wrong, it's not that he was a bad artist, too. It's just, like, I think the space right now is just, like, I think a lot of artists kind of like, well, here's how, when they say, like, tutorial, like, here's how you can do this, you should really preface it by saying, here's how I do this. This is what I do to make my thing look as good as it does. Because, like me, for example, I firmly believe that you should do, like, when you're doing line art, if you want it smooth, you just gotta do, like, really, really big and long strokes. You kind of just have to get it, like, in one go. And that's why, and it's okay if it takes you, like, 20 tries to do it, because you have the undo button anyways, right? And of course, you can also just use, like, multiple layers to help you out. Like, you have the digital art tools, you can use the digital art tools, okay? But I think when people start saying things like, oh, this is how you should render your hair, this is how you should render your eyes, this is how you should color your things, and, like, that's how you color your things. That's not how everyone should do it. And it's just, it was just, like, interesting, kind of, like, being self-taught off of a lot of things, because, yeah, I would look up, like, some tutorials for, like, effects and stuff, but there's just, like, I feel like these days there's so much of it where it's, like, it's so particular to someone's style, and it's, like, this wouldn't work for everyone. Like, it just wouldn't. I don't know how else to describe it. Once I made a tutorial on how I draw my eyes. Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is how I do it, guys. It's not how you have to do it, but if you want the effect that I specifically achieve, here's how I do it. And then there's, like, weirdos who, like, gatekeep art. And I'm just like, why are you even doing that? Like, you should be ashamed. I think those people who, like, gatekeep art, are just insane. I think they're the people who, like, probably view other artists as, like, competition. And technically, they're not wrong, because in any market you have competition. That's just how it works. But the difference is that, you're not a corporation. Corporations are always going to be expected to try and, like, snuff each other out. You are an individual. Maybe you have a business, but you are not a corporation. You don't need to, like, you don't need to, like, gatekeep beginners and be like, oh, well, I'm just worried that if, like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, you don't need to do that. I'm pretty much self-taught. I use tutorials on basic anatomy to help me practice everything else I do. I just wing until it looks right for me. Yeah. That is most definitely the self-taught artist experience right there. But it's like, I can't believe there are people who would gatekeep art. I can't believe there are people who would, like, treat other artists as, like, competition, because that's just not the truth. Like, yes, it's competition, but it's like, we're all in the same boat. We're all, like, struggling. It's all very, like, impacted, because so many people want to do this, but you shouldn't be punching down, either way, because, again, you're not a corporation. I personally would love to do tutorials. I think I've done, like, really, really cool effects before. I think people would love that. I think the nice thing, too, is that a lot of my effects, work with a lot of art styles. I think for different ones, though, I'd have to, like, do some... people might have to do something else. I would personally love to do a tutorial on line art, because... and line depth, just because, like, inking is just such a fun thing to do. I agree with, like, literally everyone. Everyone who talks about this, it just feels like it's dying out. I feel like people just want their lines super thin, they want to hide it, and I'm like, it's so sad. Because, like, to me, this just... there's so much life when you make everything, like, bold in your art. So it's just like, why are you guys trying to hide these things about it? I understand that, like, some art styles probably just don't work with, like, the big lines. That was, like, a whole thing earlier about, like, poisoning, like, AI art with my own art. But still. This right here, this is something, I want to redo my eye tutorial at some point, since many people love them. I'd love to show them how I do it and help them as well. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Again, I think it sucks that so much is, like, about numbers these days and having the highest numbers. I think the art community that Ro and everyone else has built, and myself included, I think it's very homey. I think it's very, like, the artists really do, like, want to support each other, and I think that's the only kind of community I would ever want to have. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being wonderful. If I did a line art tutorial, though, this is something that I think is huge. Like, yes, have dynamic line depth, but don't make sure your lines end where they're supposed to. This looks like it should keep going because you don't get that taper, but you get a taper, but you don't get the end of the taper, and it's still going into a line, so it just looks like it, like, ends in an awkward spot. What you actually want to do is make it look like it follows through somewhere and, like, ends under this still. And it's just, like, less jarring to look at. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Let's see. And then I don't... these are just, like, shoulder droopy thingies. So I'll just... we'll just do that. And then you can actually just... yeah, and that looks about right. Thank you for helping to build such a wonderful community, both you and Ro. I may be small and fallen, but I've met some lovely people over the past few months, and it's been so much fun. Yeah, of course. I'm super thankful for Ro. I think she's genuinely like one of the people who, like, when she says she wants to support small artists, she's like one of the only people who I believe want to support small artists. Because I think there's a lot of people just kind of like engagement farming, and it's like, yeah, I get it, I get the hustle, but it's like, I value the more genuine kinds of people out there, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Speaking of Ro, this is kind of going to be the last sort of closing announcement, because we're about to finish up stream, actually. So I want to do another community poster, but I don't want to make my hand fall off my wrist. So, Shunky, you're in the Discord, so you know about this, or Ro's Discord at least. I think it would be a really super cool thing if a bunch of artists we got our sonas together and made a creator rainbow. So I'm going to see if I can like lead something with that. If you want to help spread the word somehow, I would very much appreciate that, because I can cover red, but I would like a few more people to do red. I think 5 people per color would be a really fun thing to do. I would imagine Ro takes purple, I think. And then Shunky, if I remember correctly, your Sona is blue. So, if you want to participate, I'm saying. Like, I'm not, like, throwing you in here, and everything, but I think that would be a really cool idea. I'm gonna see if I can organize something. I hope I'm gonna be able to organize something. It would be awesome. I can take blue or indigo. Yeah. I think another thing too is just be like a fun prompt for different artists with their own like community of artists to do, like, hey, I'm starting a creator rainbow. If your Sona is red, shoot a comment here and we'll start a group chat or something. So I think I'll try to organize that after stream. Any closing announcements? Okay, I feel so stupid for the Draw This in Your Style. I've extended it to February 10th to give like another 2 weeks, and I'm gonna post like another reminder about it probably tomorrow. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get any entries. It's okay if I don't. It's my fault. I messed up. There was a typo. But yeah, so I feel just like really, really stupid about that, and I'm really sorry. But yeah, if not, it's okay. We're about to reach 500. We're pretty close to 500 followers on Blue Sky, which is insane to me. We're at 470 right now. So I think that's really cool. Twitter, I think a lot of people have been dropping like flies on Twitter because I've been losing followers, but I'm like slowly gaining them again, and I'm just like, okay, that's fair. I wish I could leave Twitter too, but overall it's just better for me if I just try to put myself out there as much as possible. I will try to do the Draw This in Your Style, but I'm drowning in whips, opening comments, and February's beeline like the one I did for Kira. Oh, you're good. You're good. Like I said, I won't be too bothered if people aren't able to participate again. I borked it. Regardless though, it is 2:31. We're gonna wrap up with stream. I think I got through all the announcements that I wanted to do. Next week, I think, is probably when I'm gonna wanna officially announce the Creator Rainbow on socials. You know, we just gotta organize it. So, in any case, Thursday is most likely gonna be another art stream. Or maybe I'll play Hollow Knight. I haven't played Hollow Knight in a bit. We'll see. But regardless, I'm so happy that you guys are here. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the one stream crash. And I will also make sure that I work on getting the compliments highlighted and clipped for you guys. I will be quote retweeting them on the socials. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I love you all. Bye!